Mr. Card purchased a suppressor online through an online kiosk called the Silencer Shop. He did all the proper paperwork that was required at that time. He had the approval. They send a form to us with a tax stamp, has a stamp on it, and they send us the silencer. On August 5th of this year, Mr. Card came into our store to retrieve the silencer, to do the transfer. He fills out the appropriate paperwork on the front. On the second page, he gets to H, basically talking if he's mentally defective or had been committed to an institution. He answered yes to that question. Once we saw that, our staff knew that he was not going to be able to transfer this to Mr. Card. We just can't imagine how much more carnage would have been if he had a silencer on the front of that.
In the words of former Democrat Mayor Rahm Emanuel, never let a tragedy go to waste. Welcome to another installment of the Connecticut Gun Bench. Today's video is brought to you by P.A.N. Firearms, LLC. P.A.N. Firearms, the NRA certification of multifaceted gun training. You can reach us at 203-300-6343 or use our website at www.panfirearmsllc.com. As always, there'll be a link in the description box below. And if you like the channel, like the content, and what I do here, you can support me with the link. Everything is appreciated. Let's talk about this. Now, I got a few points to make here, and this is, of course, concerning the event that happened in Maine, which is a tragedy, and the loss of life is never, ever, ever acceptable or a good thing. The reactions to it are always off base and tend to be more politically and socially driven by agenda more than solving the actual issues. Now, I want to discuss the opening clip where this gentleman from this FFL stated he was selling a silencer to Robert Card, and on the 4473, Robert Card checked yes on the question, are you mentally defective or have you been, committed to a mental institution? And they said we could not sell it to him. And then he made a statement, well, it's just, I can't imagine the carnage he would have done with a silencer. Well, the carnage wouldn't have been any damn different. A silencer does not increase the rate of fire, doesn't make it more accurate, doesn't change any aspect of the firearm other than reduce the decibel level when you pull the trigger. So him having a silencer would have been of no consequence when it came to this act. And I'm kind of shocked that a person who owns an FFL in a gun store would even hint at such a thing, but there it is. But not to let, as I said in my opening dialogue, not to let a situation go to waste. The usual gun control groups here in Connecticut are kind of promoting, but they are promoting a gun buyback program. I'm going to come right into here. After Maine shooting, Connecticut leaders urge action, promote gun buyback program. Yeah. Alfred Cruteau of Hartford Hospital said he was advocating not for a response to these incidents, but for their prevention. Well, if the certain powers that be had been paying attention when this man, basically in a mental institution, told them that he wanted to shoot up his National Guard unit, that would have been a prevention if they'd have taken action then. But as police now, let me give you background. This was written while Robert Card was still on the lam. They didn't know where he was. As police in Maine searched for the suspect in the killing of 18 people and injuring of 13 others, Connecticut officials and gun reform advocates are calling for participation in a program created with the goal of protecting children and communities from gun violence. Notice, not even a day after this event, they're out pushing gun control narratives. The officials and advocates conducted a press conference Thursday outside the Connecticut State Capitol to raise awareness about the program known as the #KeepKidsSafe, Connecticut statewide gun buyback, and Connecticut Safe giveaway scheduled for Saturday. The program will allow residents to exchange unwanted or unneeded weapons for gift cards. And let's be honest about these gun buybacks. People bring absolute garbage to these things just to get the money. Quote, until we wait for Congress to pass strong gun laws on a federal level, we need to do all we can to keep our children and our families safe. And this is one way we can do it, said Poe Murray, chair of the Newtown Action Alliance, a volunteer organization formed after the Sandy Hook Elementary School massacre. Lieutenant Governor Susan Bysiewicz attended the outing along with Murray and representatives from the Ethan Miller Song Foundation, St. Francis Hospital, Connecticut Children's Hospital, Hartford Hospital, and Hartford Police Department. While talking about the gun buyback program, the organization extended their sympathies in regards to Maine residents, many of whom are currently reeling from the massacre of 18 people in a small town of Lewiston by a gunman who, at the time of the press conference, still hadn't been located or arrested. So they didn't wait for the facts of the matter to come out. They just immediately said, AR-15, a bunch of people killed, let's go demand gun buybacks. Quote, we are all tired of waking up to news like this, Bicewitz said. Police are accusing Robert Card, a firearms instructor in an Army Reservist, of killings and injuries that occurred Wednesday night at a local bar and a bowling alley in Lewiston. Now, let me give you some information on this. The bowling alley in Lewiston is a gun-free zone. Okay? That really worked out. I'm going to go ahead and come out of that. Now, Paul Murray, let me just get some background on this person. This is the same person who said this.
We are urging Congress to expand the court and instill some ethical standards for them.
Yeah, she demanded that the Supreme Court be expanded because she wasn't getting the results that she wanted. These are the same people running around crying about threat to democracy, right? Think about that. I'm not getting the results I want. I want the court expanded to get those results. That's unbelievable. But the Maine residents, the people who actually live in the area, didn't really respond in a way that the anti-gun advocates wanted.
So we came home and she wanted to lock up right away. We locked up the windows, everything. I do have a firearm, so it made her feel better to know that I was carrying it around and had it all ready to go.
It's very unnerving right now.
Seeing those officers with those long guns walking through.
That actually made me feel better. Seeing the cops coming around here, that makes me feel a million times better. In a situation like this, I wish I had a firearm.
Maybe they just have a little more common sense. Person's out there with a gun shooting people. Maybe I need a gun to protect myself. But now here's the problem, and it's a two-parter here. As more and more information comes out about the shooter, there were serious red flags that were completely ignored. He was basically put in a mental institution. I believe he was there for 2 weeks. And during that time, he said he wanted to shoot up his National Guard unit. That was ignored. I'm going to play a little bit of this clip here so you can get more information as more information comes out about this shooter and signs that were completely ignored.
Glad you're streaming with us. We're learning more about those missed warning signs before last week's devastating mass shooting in Maine that killed 18 people and injured 13 others. Documents actually show that the shooter's family contacted the sheriff's office back in May over concerns about his mental health and his access to guns as an Army reservist.
The sheriff and officials say they are now reevaluating policies and procedures, but this is renewed debate over the mentally ill and access to firearms.
Well, I think the thing here that jumps out, Terry, is the fact that here's a case where people in law enforcement, people in the military were well aware that Robert Card was, in descending mental health status, that he had discussed acts of violence involving his fellow soldiers, that he was becoming paranoid, and the dominating thing that comes out of this, the infuriating thing, I'm sure, for people in Maine, is that the people who were in a position to do something about this knew and did not do enough.
So let's talk about that, because every time we cover a horrendous mass shooting like this of any kind, there was always some type of warning sign. Somebody knew something.
Okay, you heard that. His own family in June advocated to the police and said, look, this guy's got mental problems. He has access to firearms. We're worried. Ignored. He commits this act, and despite all the previous warnings, the only answer they have immediately is, oh, we need an assault weapons ban. An assault weapons ban was not going to stop this. If he didn't have an assault weapon, he was going to do this anyway. But you can't reason with these people. It's always about the implement and not the person behind it. Now, I'm personally sick and tired of people using death as some kind of political tool for an agenda that has nothing to do with the actual cause and effect of these things. They will never solve the actual problem because they need chaos like this to keep promoting their agenda. And it's annoying, it's frustrating, and it's disgusting. And the only answer they ever come up with is, we need to hold the public accountable for the behavior of people within it. You really want to solve the enigma and this phenomenon of mass shootings? Start holding people criminally accountable for their behavior at all levels. 2, stop blaming the implement. It's a coward's way out. Start blaming the person. Stop glorifying these people. Stop putting their faces up on the news because it encourages the next person. Oh, wow, this person got notoriety out of this. Because that's usually what happens with these damn things. And most of all, stop making the rest of society scapegoats for the behavior of the few. But let me know what you think. As always, you can leave your comments in the comment section below. And as always, any statements of violence or statements that lead to violence will be removed. Please like, share, comment, subscribe. Don't forget to hit that notification bell so you're notified the next time a video goes live. I will see you on the next one. Peace.